General MacArthur drops an atomic bomb.
Hello everybody, welcome back. This is 1951, turn 11 for the Allies. Going right into it. NATO is buying a tech dice, 4 airborne infantry, a transport aircraft, 6 mobile artillery, and 3 tanks. The United States is buying 2 tech and 2 diplomacy. They're going to try again to flip Yugoslavia. Buying 2 B-29 bombers, 2 airborne units under the moniker of the 82nd Airborne Division, and 3 mechanized infantry. Then SATO is doing 2 tech and 2 diplomacy. They're going to try for Saudi Arabia again. And then 2 airborne and a transport aircraft. Alright, so SATO is once again going for the increased factory production. They fail. And the communists have elected to not stop the diplomacies again this turn. So then the diplomacies for Saudi Arabia. And it's a success. So Saudi Arabia goes to SATO for 2. And they get 3. They'll get 3 infantry out of it. Okay. And then come over here. Just grab infantry. Alright. United States, once again, B-52s. Still can't get the B-52s. And then they are going for Yugoslavia. Whoops. Well, there's the 6. And they got Yugoslavia, which is 2 plus another 5 infantry. Whoops. Ah. Okay. Something for the Americans. Here's the box. Whoops. And then finally, NATO is going for the improved air transports, which will allow them to move during airborne attacks. They can attack with 3 airborne units, or when they can transport 3 units. And they failed. No tech for the Allies this turn. All right, so we'll get set up for some attacks, and we'll be right back. All right, so going over the attacks this turn, we actually have quite a bit going on. We have a NATO armor division moving from Romania, blitzing through Bulgaria down into Greece. The NATO strategic bomber from Italy is going to launch a strategic bombing raid against Turkey. The U.S. Third Army is going to move in and liberate undefended Jordan or undefended Israel. A NATO tank division is splitting off to liberate the Sudan and the Belgian Congo. The U.S. First Fleet is going to move in to destroy that transport, so we'll just call that a victory already because it has no defenses. And honestly, I wouldn't scramble those 2 jets to try and defend it. It's not worth it. Not with, I mean, it's small, but that's enough that the United States would crush my 2 jets, and there's no point in risking them in an operation like that. And then up in the north, a combined Allied force under the command, reconstituted yet again as the U.S. 8th Army, is going to attempt to land and secure Vladivostok. Oh, and then I missed one. And then a horde of Allied bombers are going to attempt to strategic bomb Stalingrad. So, well, we'll start in the Pacific and work our way over. So we'll need the battle board for this one. Yeah. Pardon me. Okay, so starting off, some American infantry, some American tanks, some Sato tanks, Sato mech infantry, and an artillery. We tentatively have 4 airborne units, as 4 American airborne units as well. We'll just see what happens with the anti-aircraft gun rule. So they have 2 strategic bombers that'll be attacked, 2 fighters, and a jet. The communists have some tanks, mobile artillery, a jet, and an anti-aircraft gun. All right. All right. Let's get to the rolls. All right, so we have an anti-aircraft gun. So the anti-aircraft gun will roll first. So it's got 2 American transports. Safe. Safe. 2 American fighters. Safe. Safe. And then the Sato jet. Safe. All right. So the Americans will start off with 4 for 1. Oh, what luck. 3 hits right off the bat. And then they got, let's see, 4, 5. They'll have 6 for 2. 6 for 2. 2 more. And then 4, 7, 9. 9 for 3. Let's see, 1, 2. 5. Oh, no, that was 6. 3 hits again. And that's all the communist defenders. Gotta be careful. I keep jumping the gun here. Or keep jumping the board here. Alright, so then the communists, they got 1 for 2. Miss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 for 3. It's 3. And 1 for 4. Hit. All right. Quite a bit of losses, but looks like the Allies will manage to. The Allies have managed to destroy all the communist defenses, and the capture of Amur will go to the U.S. 8th Army, and on the board it'll go to the U.S. So let's see here. 3. Whoops. Yeah. And then 1, 2, 3. And I'll get a U.S. marker over here. I will get that onto Hammer. Then real quickly, I'll get the 8th Army board put together. Okay. And then obvious, and then the 2 aircraft will just fly back to their carrier. I know these are non-combat moves, but just real quick, just so I don't forget, then these will come back to Japan along with the NATO jet. Okay, so I think that's everything here in the Pacific. Real quick. Yep, that's everything in the Pacific. So we'll come over here. We'll do the strategic bombing run against Stalingrad. So there's an anti-aircraft gun and 4 bombers. So, all right, we got 4 bombers. Miss. Whoops. That's a miss. 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 And a miss. Okay, so between the 4 bombers, let's see here. They can have a max of 20. So let's see. So for the 4 bombers, 5, 10, 13, 15 damage altogether to the Soviet factory in Stalingrad. And then these bombers will have to land in the Ukraine with the Army of the Rhine, which has advanced very far from the Rhine. Okay, and then we'll quickly come up here. So the U.S. Third Army will liberate Israel and give it to NATO, because it is a NATO territory, so that's 2. And we'll come down here, where this tank is going to liberate the Sudan and the Congo. That's another 2 IPC from the Russians all together. Okay, next. Then we come up here and we'll do the bombing run on Greece or on Turkey. The facility has an anti-aircraft gun, obviously. Misses, and NATO bombs for 4. Dealing quite a bit of damage to the Soviet there we go. And this bomber will return to southern Italy. And then I think to finish it off, we just have the blitzing tank from Bulgaria into Greece. So let's see, 1. So that's a total of 3 altogether from the Russians now. Yep. Overall, that is all the attacks. All right, so then we'll go right into the non-combats. So we'll start here. The jet here will come up to Egypt. The three troops in Saudi Arabia will wait up here in Europe. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? Okay, so we have this mech which will go into Romania with the 5 U.S. infantry. The Sado Army, its tanks, which can move 2, will go into the Ukraine with the Army of the Rhine. I'll just pull these off. And they have mobile artillery. Meanwhile, the artillery for Shape will move into Bessarabia. And then the Shape Army space we'll just use for these forces coming in. And then up in Europe, the slow-moving U.S. 7th Army will move to East Germany. We're going to constitute a new army out of Poland. The 10th Army. This is specifically going to... the 10th Army is specifically going to be used for... what do you want to call it? For an airborne force. So, we have 2 airborne units in Leningrad that'll, or actually, yeah, no, they're going to stay there. So they're covered by this transport. This transport's going to go back to Poland for the 10th Army. The 2 American airborne units and the air transport in Spain are going to come over and join it. The NATO fighter, the NATO jet fighter that was on Poland will come up to the 1st Army up in the north and join them there. Let's see here. Next, the 3 heavy tanks are going to move into Archangel and join up with their brethren there. This jet fighter is also going to head down to Leningrad in the 1st Army. NATO, the Allies are finally slowly repairing their tactical air forces. Okay, I think that's everything for Europe at this point. Oh yeah, the 7th Fleet is going to move up to Sea Zone from 99 to Sea Zone 100. There. Down here in the east, nothing's really gonna move. If anything, what we'll do, we'll have the Sado fleet off the Philippines just kind of hold there, kind of be a reserve fleet. Then up north here, nothing going on up here that needs to change. Okay, I think we've done all the non-combats. So we'll go into deployments now. So over here in the Pacific, on Japan, the United States is going to drop 2 of their, are going to drop their 2 strategic bombers on Japan at the factory there. In the Philippines, Sado is going to drop 2 more paratroopers. Oops. And drop their second air transport. So they now have a 4 airborne unit stack that they can transport to whatever conflict next that they deem necessary. Over here in Europe, I did forget one move real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I have a U.S. transport aircraft up in Novograd that is going to come to France. But then I have 2 airborne units dropping in Spain, and then the U.S. is dropping their 3 mechanized infantry here in Egypt. Okay, then we have, let's see here. So up in Poland, NATO is dropping 2 airborne units to cover to join the transport that flew back there. They have an airborne and a transport aircraft that's going to drop on the Shape Army in Romania. Then they got 3. Let's see here. Yeah, they have 3 mobile artillery that are going to drop in the Ukraine. They got 3 mobile artillery that'll drop with the 1st Army in Leningrad. Let me get these battle boards cleaned up a little bit here. And then finally, NATO is going to deploy their 3 tanks. Whoops. Their final 3 tanks up here in Murmansk. All right, let's see here. All right, so that is sort of the, whoops. No, drat. Yeah, I clutch sometimes. Get some of this a little better organized. Okay, all right, so once again, all right, so this is kind of the state of the board now. I mean, the Allies are slowly more encroaching against the Russians. They've also dealt some heavy damage to the Russian industrial capacity, especially around Stalingrad and Turkey. The Allies are driving back south, or NATO's driving back south to recover their African territories. And then over in the Pacific, the Allies have gained a foothold once again at Vladivostok, and will hopefully be able to use its position there to start moving south against Peking. All right. So at the end of the turn, Sato gets 27 plus their war bonds of 3, so they get 30. The United States is at 66, and NATO is at 78. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the state of the game at this point. Probably go into a turn 12 at least, just to kind of round out. Let's see here. Yeah, maybe we'll probably do a round 12 just to sort of close out the year of 1956, because that's technically the year that we're on now. We just finished up the beginnings, the first half of 1956. So if anything, we'll at least do a turn 12 to close out the second half. So just kind of getting a look at the battle board, at the army board / task force boards. I mean, both sides have pretty well built or building up towards their final clashes. So guys, until next time, we'll see you for turn 12.